So I have always been obedient to my mentors. So 9 months later, I married Gloria, a student of that training course. 9 months later, my daughter Paola was born. This girl came very fast. Then, 2 years later, I had Fabiola arrives. I became a family man. And I learned that women of any age are wiser, stronger, and smarter than men. In 1977, I wrote a paper proposing the transfer of Sentinel technology to state governments. I believe that if we build state information systems at the provincial level, we were going to make better to have better policies for water and land management. The paper was very well received by my bosses, but something terrible was about to happen with the Sentinel mapping agents. There were political changes at the minister level. A new minister, ill-advised by International Monetary Fund's economists, started to ask questions. How much do you spend in these maps? At what price do you sell it? What is the profit? We tried to explain to him that a national resource inventory is like an X-ray of your lungs or your brain. You will not make a fast cash profit from it, but it could save your life. They didn't listen, and they decided to stop the resource inventory. International Monetary Fund economists' favorite song is downsize. Downsizing is like losing weight. It could be good if you apply it to the fat, but it's terrible if you try to lose weight taking out your eyes or your brains. Mapping and GIS are like the eyes and the brains of a country. You need both to have a shared vision where the resources can be used not to produce the richest man in the planet like in Mexico, but to share all the resources such that the children could have enough nutrition. I faced a hard choice. I liked to work for the government. But then I needed to stop dreaming or go to the private sector and hope for the best. I decided to embrace hope, and in 1980, we founded a company with 2 employees, my wife and me, with the mission to implement land information system in the state governments. We grew in 8 years from 2 to 200 employees, and I thought we were going to be able to do something in 20 years. Not 40 or 50, as my mentors have told me. But then, in 1988, I met Jack Dangermond in Baltimore, and all my problems started. ESRI was showing ArcInfo 3X in 1988, and they were showing how to do geographic analysis with computers. We didn't use computers. We just overlaid the maps. I listened to Jack very passionately speaking about landscape planning with GIS. I stopped to talk with him about the difference in mapping and urban systems in Mexico and the United States. In the United States, you first make the streets, put the utilities, networks, and then put the houses. In Mexico, we put first the houses, and then later maybe we will put the streets and the utilities. So, in the United States, you make maps of what is there. But in Mexico, we need to make maps of what is not there, but it should be. Maps of the needs of the people. Then Jack told me, don't worry. Next version of ArcInfo will make the maps of what is not there. In the user conference, I found a group of people that thought that they could change the world with GIS. It appears that they don't know that changing making dreams happen is the most difficult task a man can undertake. So, like I am an experienced dreamer, I say I should join them. I decided to join them, and Sixa became the Mexican distributor of ESRI 22 years ago. I have made many friends from every continent, including the small pueblito or town of Tierras Rojas, California. I have been a witness of the evolution of the most powerful GIS platform in the world. Many years of suggestion, insight, and complaint from all of these networks are put it into our GIS 10. So, in 1999, many rivers flooded Mexico, as almost every year. Flooding is good because it makes the soil more fertile. But it was our problem that we put the cities too close to the rivers. So the clean water that rains, it was polluted with sewage and flooded the cities, setting back the lives of many people because they have to pay again all the commodities they had. So this makes me desperate. I am a desperate man because this is a disaster of our own making. We could not blame the river. Don't blame the water. We did it wrong. Mexico divides is dry or is flooded. You know, and it's first flooded. So if we keep the water, we shouldn't be dry. But we are very crazy to manage the water, so we need to learn from the Dutch. To change this situation, we need 6 things at least. One is large-scale, accurate maps. And updated. Then the cadastral layer. Then the public record should be tied to the cadastral layer. And then we need the resource inventory that we stopped 30 years ago. That is the reason I am desperate. But even these 4 things are useless if the community doesn't use it. We are not making maps for ourselves. We need to transfer this information. We need maps in the brains of the people. So we need the community using the maps. And another thing, we need is a consensus building engine. Because the cities flood for this party or this party, for the rich, for the poor, for the old, for the young. So we should not discuss the data. We should discuss the solution.